Okay, as you all know, we're from My Mind on Film. But what is My Mind on Film? We're actually Malaysia's first youth mental health short film festival initiated by the Center for Mental Health and Wellbeing with the collaboration between the Malaysian Mental Health Association and Help University. So My Mind on Film targets the youth in hopes of inspiring them to share their perspectives and ideas on mental health and encourage them to recognize the mental health is universal, changeable, and includes the positive. All right, so through this festival, we aim to facilitate the breaking down of the stigma surrounding mental health and caring for your own mental well-being. So that's a bit about us. Okay, as our events falls closely to World Suicide Prevention Day, that was yesterday, 10 September, we would just like to take 1 minute of silence in respect to all who have been or who have lost someone due to suicide. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your 1 minute. We really appreciate it. All right. So before we get into our workshop, here's just a few housekeeping rules for you guys. Yeah. First, feel free to open your cameras and participate throughout the whole event. Let's try and make this workshop as lively as we can, all right, despite it being online. Next, when the speaker is sharing, when Mr. Megat is sharing, we would appreciate if everyone just muted their mic to avoid any audio interruptions. But feel free to chat with each other or engage with one another in the chat box. If the speaker asks a question and any of you wants to answer them, then feel free to unmute yourself, or you could just reply in the chat. Lastly, if you have any questions at all about the topic shared by Mr. Megat and you'd like to ask him, hold on to your horses, because after the break, we'll have a Q&A session just for you to get all your inquiries and curiosities answered. All right. Without further ado, let us get to know our speaker first, Mr. Megat Sharizal. While completing his bachelor degree, Mr. Megat started to get involved in theatre. Since then, he has started to act and direct for stage and television. His notable performances include PGL the Musical and P. Ramlee the Musical. He has won numerous awards for theatre, which includes Best Director for Malaysian Theatre Festival in 2004 and Best Director for Short and Sweet Theatre Festival in 2009. In 2010, he and a bunch of like-minded friends formed Playground Productions, and they produced their first film titled Terbaik Dari Langit. You guys should really check that out. That film debuted in Tokyo International Film Festival and soon went on to win the Special Jury Award in the Malaysian Film Festival in 2015. That's why I said you guys should really check the film out. It's really awesome. The film also won Best Film Award in ASEAN International Film Festival that very same year. Besides that, he has also directed a short film titled Bingit, and that film won the 2015 Kuala Lumpur 48-hour film project. So basically, you have to make a film in 48 hours. And that film won the competition, and it was chosen to represent Malaysia in Atlanta. And most recently, he directed this highly acclaimed series titled Jibril. So if you guys want to watch it, it's on View Malaysia, yeah? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any more of your time, give a round of virtual applause to Mr. Megat Sharizal. Mr. Megat, off to you, sir.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How are you guys today? My name is Megat Sharizal. As Daniel said earlier, I am, remember the sequence, I am an actor, director, producer. Okay. Why I choose to always say that because kejap, share screen sikit. Okay, where is Okay, so why I choose to say it that way, because it all goes back to my background where I started. Um, I did not study film. I started when I studied in MMU, Multimedia University, not in cinematic arts. I At that time uh, there's not a lot of like right now you have Aswara, you have UITM, you have a number of schools for film, but at that time the only place that offers film course was Academy Film Malaysia. Academy Film Malaysia is now has joined under Aswara. uh, I wasn't aware that there was a film academy at that time. I wasn't even aware there was Academy Seni Kebangsaan, or now known as Aswara, at that time, because again, our country's appreciation towards arts not very high. So kita tak appreciate. I mean, it all goes back to way back in school where our appreciation towards arts are not taught. We have to learn how to appreciate arts ourselves. You're lucky if you have parents who love the arts. You know, we have this stigma. We have this mentality. It's a typical Asian mentality where if you study sastra, so you're not a very bright student. So this is other thing that I think most of us face growing up, that arts is not essential. It's happening until now. I mean, our country puts arts aside. So that's why my point here was when I wanted to study, I very much know at that point that I love films, I love acting, I love movies, but I wasn't aware that there was there were places to study film. So I went into MMU, studied business administration. So I did my degree there. Um, while I was there, it was the first year Cyberjaya was opened. So there was nothing there. There was still pokok kelapa sawit everywhere. So that any of you guys from Cyberjaya here, if any of you guys have been to Cyberjaya, now it has lots and lots of traffic lights. You have, if you want to go from one point to another, you have to wait 5 minutes. But back then, it's just smooth sailing everywhere. It's just apa traffic light pun tak ada. There was only MMU. There was only MMU, and our if we want to entertain ourselves or to get the nearest restaurant, it will be either Serdang, or we have to go all the way to Dengkel or Kajang, or even sometimes we go over to Subang. So at that time there was nothing. So when in my final year, finally someone came with the initiative to form the theatre club. It started with a workshop lah. It started with a workshop, and then they wanted to enter Festival Film Festival Theatre Selangor. Okay, so I did not know these guys. I just went in, and then when we all of us did not have any knowledge, a lot of knowledge about theatre. We just there were a few, one or two have studied, did school plays. So we banded together. We entered Festival Theatre Selangor, and suddenly we got third place. So we were happy. We got third place, and then somehow the point that it that plants the seed within me lah. I'm just saying where I saw, oh, acting is something else. So which is where I brought this passion. After I even after I finished studying, After I finished studying, I worked in a company for 1 year, which I didn't like. So I decided to take a break. That break lasted for 16 years now. that break lasted for 16 years now. Where I thought, okay, let's take a break for a while to find a job. I will do another theater. So that play became Tak Denas, which later on won the Festival Theatre Malaysia 2004. So that was again the points where it just pushed me towards arts and performing arts. After doing theater, so that's where I started to know people from TV, from actors, other actors. Again, if you guys have a passion for this, don't wait for others. You have to push yourself. You have to get to know others. You get to now with social media around, you can just text anyone. Hey, hi, how do I get into the arts? So back then, there were websites for auditions. I just went, and then I got to know people there, and then and from there I started acting on TV. And among the highlight points was like Daniel mentioned earlier, was Putri Gunung Ledang, the musical 2006. That's where I think during the rehearsals, during the rehearsals for the it was one of the biggest shows in Malaysia, and during the rehearsals where you learn a lot. I mean, you learn while you are doing, you know. You learn from the seniors, you learn from your peers, you learn what is acting, you learn what is performing, you learn what does it take to do a play, a big musical play. Okay, I know today we are talking more about film, but what I want to stress is the amount of energy, the amount of people needed to put in a production is quite a lot lah. I mean, even a small production, a small a short film, you still can't do it alone. You still have your other departments, like you still have to have the camera department, you have to have the actors, you have to the sound. It's a teamwork. It's whether it's a small theater play or is it a big production, it's still a teamwork. So you still need others to make your production work. Anyway, going back, this is when I have already known these people in my background from I was small, from I was little. I know that I love film. I was I was uh, I was actually watching. I was raised a lot by my grandmother, and she loves to watch old films, and she has lots and lots of Piramli tapes. So I would watch that every other day, and for me, that was my first film school. So watching films is my school. So if you guys, I think, want to become a filmmaker or want to do films, you have to watch films. So my first question to you guys here, um, you guys can randomly answer, or you guys can unmute. Is most of you, sorry, I have to ask this, but most of, I hope most of us here are Malaysian.
Wait, Mr. Megat, just if you're sharing your slide, it's not showing, just to be sure. If you're sharing your slide right now, there's no slide.
Okay.
All right, now, yeah, now.
Is it sharing now?
Okay, yeah, now it is. Now it is. You could
Sorry.
make it full screen.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Yep. So
Okay.
all
So
of
it's
our audience are from Malaysia here.
okay. It's supposed to be this screen just now. Okay. Sorry. Tak apa. Never mind. So when people, this is a quote from Tarantino. When people ask me, if I go to film school, I tell that I went to film. So I think it's the same for me. I watch film. So back to my question just now. It's what was the last local films? Okay, if you're from Bangladesh, you don't need to answer this question. What was the last local film that you guys watched? Legally, doesn't matter Netflix, movies, yeah, doesn't matter Astro, but legally, what was the last local film that you guys watched? Please answer. Pramai Majika, Talentine, Zombie Topi, Aina, Zombie Topi, Aina. Okay. First and last. Okay. All right. Lee Chong Wei's movie. Okay. Good. Pascal. Okay. Oh, did was it any what about for the past month in August? Did you guys name one local film that you guys watched for the past month in August? None. Good, good. Don't have. Good. Mohsin, okay. Police Evo, okay. Okay. Never mind. If you guys didn't watch any pun tak apa, it's fine. Just tell me if it's tak okay. Good. Aduh, tak ingat. That's a good answer actually. Okay. So the point I'm asking this question is oh sorry, there's a second question. Why, if any of you guys want to become a filmmaker, why?
You guys could unmute yourself if you guys want to talk with me.
You like filming videos. I love cinematography. Okay. Why? To share our stories. My Sarah, that's a good answer. I'm going to hold to that. To share our stories, to tell a story. I want to watch what I write. Okay. I want to look at a beautiful story. Okay. Okay. To record moments. Okay. To inspire. Educate people. Okay. Escapism. Okay. All right. Okay. To tell truths that this country is afraid to tell. Okay. Okay. So, a lot of you guys said to tell stories, to inspire. So, who do you want to inspire? Who's gonna, when you tell stories, who's your audience? Youngsters, younger gen, from where? Gen Z, locals. Okay. 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 Teenagers and adults. Okay. Basically everyone. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So I get the gist. So now ask yourself this, because it relates to the first and second question that I had. If you guys want to to be a filmmaker, and you want to tell stories, and you want people to hear, people to watch your stories, but if you guys don't watch local films, who's going to watch yours? So a lot of you guys said none. A few people said none, and a lot of you guys watched old films, not recently released films. So this is the thing that starts here today. I think if you guys want to become a filmmaker, if you guys really are serious to be a filmmaker, if you guys are not, it's fine. But if you want to tell stories, if you guys want people to hear your story, watch your stories, I think it starts with yourself. It doesn't matter. I know our film punya quality is questionable because I come from that side. You know, sometimes you when if you really understand, okay, again, this is excuse lah, but if you really understand our film industry, it's really sad. You know, it's been an uphill battle, but we are trying to do better every day. But for me, this is just me. But I hope I can share this with everyone. If we don't watch our local stuff, who's going to watch ours? You know, so let's start there. It doesn't matter if the film's like a film is terrible, is bad, and if it's even made by your friends, if it's bad, just I mean, just not tell them, try to critique nicely lah. But I think we should start to do that. Maybe my assignment to you guys today, after today, maybe just try to watch one local film for yourself. Then after that, you want to continue watching ke tak watch ke, it doesn't matter. You know, if you don't watch our local, who's going to watch it? Okay, thank you. Yeah. So so because I've watched so many local films here that sometimes you go into the cinema, or it's now it's okay because you cannot watch it in the cinema, so you have to you can watch it on screen. You can just like walk away or whatever. But when you're watching it in the cinema, sometimes you want to you feel you want to slit your wrist, but never mind. I'm watching this for our local industry, so yeah, there are some good quality of local. Yes, that's why I said that, because I think we have to educate our audience, and uh, apa nama orang kata, kembangkan this appreciation towards arts. Watch even the local. Yes, Dumb Zombies, because that's where you know who's doing what. You know, um, you know, you need to know the good quality film name. Okay, these are good quality films are a bit subjective for me, because some people would love okay, again, this is an analogy I like to share to people also. Okay, you have to equate films. Films to me are like food. You know, there's healthy food, there's fast food, there's um, Chinese food, there's Indian food, there's so people's tastes are different, and quality wise, some people like street food like burger ramli, but some people would like nasi kandar. So but a lot of films in Malaysia are mi Maggi. You know, you get what I mean? It's easy to prepare and easy to consume, but it's not fulfilling. Yeah? There's so a lot of it's cheap to make. Uh, so a lot of funders, a lot of apa nama ni, people with money rather spend money to sell these Maggie films because it's easy to sell. If you so films that and suddenly when our Malaysian apa ni so used to this Maggie films, and suddenly you introduce Caesar salad. They wouldn't take it like that. You know, you have to slowly introduce people to healthy food. You tell them, oh, healthy food ni bagus. It wouldn't just be apa you makan Maggi kenyang sekejap and then it's not going to be healthy, because films are the food for the mind. You know, films are food for the mind. You know, if you and then if you mix up your food, you mix up your back to the taste thing. What I said, sometimes you have two of the same kind of food. Let's say nasi kandar lah. Nasi kandar from this mama and nasi kandar from that mama. Some people would say this one is better than that one, but it's the same. It's nasi kandar. It's taste. Some people like even though the food is well prepared, some people just don't like fish. You know, even so some ingredients. So it's taste. So film is also taste. Some films are, when it comes to quality, it's up to you. So I think that's why you guys have to watch the film and you judge and you say, oh, this film, I like this film, I like this kind of film. So taste, sometimes you with your best friend pun, you guys won't agree with the same film, you know. It's taste. So again, I encourage you guys to watch local films. Please okay, maybe what you guys can do is, after you watch any movie or any local film, you guys can tag me on Instagram or Twitter. It's Megat Sharizal, MEGAT SHARIZAL, not SHAH. It's Megat Sharizal. I can share you guys the. You guys can tag me. What did you guys watch? Even okay, but there are films that I couldn't bring myself to watch. I didn't manage to watch Badang, so that one I'm afraid to watch that. So just but okay. So anyway, back to our where okay. So apa nama ni? Okay, so we go back to the film. Okay, so the alamak macam mana ni? Okay, so let's go to the topic that we are supposed to discuss today. What is a film production? So we for you guys who want to do film, want to learn what is a filmmaking, these are steps that you need to know to do a film, because like I said earlier, it's a group thing. It's a teamwork. It's teamwork. So it's not just you have to have your team. It's a lengthy and multi-step process, and it can take years. It can take. I did a short film in 48 hours, but still the phases, the steps are the same. You know, any time you want to do a film, before you do a film, can you guys tell me what is the first most important thing that you need to have before you start doing your film? Idea. Okay, storyboard, pre-production. Okay, even before you start your pre-production phase, a story. Okay, okay. All right, good. The story, yes, the story. When you have your story, Mama session Aina, ya. Duduk kat Caltex sana. Apa nama ni, money, of course, yeah, everyone, I wish everyone has money, but that one is the most important but subjective thing. Okay, you have to have a story and you have to have a script. Alfred Hitchcock said, the most important thing. There's three things that's the most important thing before you start a film. Number one is script. Number two is script. Number three is script. So when you have a story, you translate it onto the script, and then when you have that story, you have the script. Then you can move on. The script is like the blue plan of everything. If you don't have the story, if you don't have the script, if you don't have the blue plan, how are you going to build that building? Ni arkitek tahu lah ni cerita blueprint ni. And that's where you develop your story, and whatever you want to tell, you can discuss it with others, or you can keep it to yourself. You can send it to others. So usually a film, I'm referring to a feature film, it can take between 1 month up until 3 or 4 years even to write a script, you know. But if you are working for with a deadline, it might be 3 months to finish a script. So when after you finish the script, then you enter pre-production. When you enter the pre-production, that's where you the planning starts. Okay. Pasal hang ni. Yes, that is a long process. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Then during pre-production is where everything okay, that's okay. So going back again, development is the first stage in film production, the phase pre-production, completion, depending on the type of film. Okay, so again, yeah, like I said earlier, it takes up until 3 or 4 years, because this is where you determine what kind of stories that you want to tell. You know, it's when you write, usually what some people do is they, before writing the story, you think, who do you want the story to be presented to? I mean, it's like writing a letter. Who do I want this letter to be read? You know, I'm sending this to who? Who is my audience? So that's why sometimes, if you want that letter to be read by a lot of people, then you do a commercial story, an easily to be digested story, cerita blockbuster. You know, if you want something very personal, very deep, that's where you tell the story that you want to tell. You know, but usually this story that you want to tell is more difficult lah to be made. Okay, and this also, the story ensures you to get the budget. You know, it's again, when you have a story, that's where you find funders. If you are rich, that's easy lah, kan? But if you don't have money, then you have to find someone to fund your film. Then you have to know where to find funders. You know, yeah, gotta pitch the idea to get funding. Yes, but again, a lot of funders also will want to know what you want to tell, because they have their own interest. You know, if they read the story and they think, okay, I want to sell a film to make money, and this kind of film cannot make me money, so I you know, so yeah, this determines also who is going to be involved in your film. I mean, it's going to be the production team, apa ni, the cast, how many people are involved. So that's where the next step comes in. The industry is rigged. Okay, tough Okay, you can hold on to that. Maybe we'll answer that. We go back to that during the Q&A session. Okay, so we go to the pre-production stage, where in this pre-production stage is where you really start making your film when you enter the pre-production. So this is where after you write your script, and sometimes when you write a script, to while you're writing a script, you already enter the pre-production phase. So pre-production phase is where you choose your team. You choose who's going to be the most important departments are the assistant director, the director of photography, the producer, uh, the production management, and also makeup and wardrobe. So these are among the important departments in a production. So you will choose, you try to find the best people for each departments, and this is where you discuss. You present your script to them before casting. This is the first thing you do. You choose the people. The producer will work with you to choose all these people. Um, because it's important to find a DOP or HOD that can translate your whatever you have in mind to the screen. Okay, another very important person that some people always overlook is the assistant director. Assistant director is usually the one uh, that runs the show during the shoot. Okay, it's important to, because when you get an assistant director, he is the person in charge to break down your schedule, to do the scheduling of the shoot. And then when you break down the scheduling, that's where after that you can determine the most important thing is the budget. You know how many days you're going to shoot, how many people, how many location, how many uh, technical technical requirements. That's where you break down it into the budget, so people can see, oh, okay, this film requires 100,000, or this film requires 500,000, because again, if you're doing different genres, it requires different budget. Okay, all right. So after you're done doing all this pre-production and pre-production team selection, now you go to the phase where you recce the location. You choose your location. First start, you recce location means that you go to the locations. um, Before choosing the location, you have to go recce lah, kan. Kalau ada the location requires a factory, so you go to different factories, because it's not just the look. When you enter this recce punya phase, number one is the look that is suits the director's vision, but you have to consider the logistics also. When you shoot at a place, at a location, you have to have the permission, you have to have the accessibility. Uh, if you guys can, the car can go there, or the transport can be there, how easily accessible the location is. And then jangan tengok, oh, cantik je tempat ni, tapi you don't think about all these things. Sometimes the people overlook is the sound punya effect, because when doing a shoot, you have to have clear sound. Sometimes, oh, cantik tempat ni, you shoot there, suddenly uh, at the site of your location is a construction site, so it just disrupts your shooting. you know then after choosing your location and everything, after all these are determined, then only you start, you set the date for shoot. Okay, again, I have to apa ni, stress out that pre-production is more important than production itself, because if you don't do enough pre-production, that's where the problems will snowball during production. You know, sometimes again, when people don't decide or do proper apa ni, preparation during pre-production, there problems will come. I've been on shoots where you get to the location, you already set up and everything, suddenly someone comes in. Ni apa ni? Kan? Dah minta kebenaran ke belum ni? Kan? We asked the production manager and production management said, oh, I thought we can shoot here. So again, it's not proper pre-production. So you have this kind of problems just delays and it adds to your budget. You know, it's not good. It's not healthy. And being and shooting in Malaysia, one of the things that is tough and is uncontrollable is actually the weather. Weather is something that is very tricky. Sometimes weather forecast will say it's gonna be a bright day all day. 12 o'clock. So yeah, kita punya weather is a bit magic lah, you know. And sometimes it says gonna rain all day tomorrow. Suddenly it's like cerah all day. So like this is always a problem. I mean, it's unpredictable. Then so much. Yes, there's so many aspects to think. Yeah. So because when you choose a location, sometimes again when I say it looks nice, but you have to consider where to place the camera. To place the camera, what about PowerPoints? You know, you have to all this because your equipment needs PowerPoint. So again, you need to a lot of things that looks small, you know, but it's kind of benda ni petty je, but it's like a lot of things. Okay, again, so when you go when it comes to shooting production, okay, so the man in charge is actually when is no longer the director, is actually the person who runs the show. The most important person on the set usually during production is the assistant director and also the production manager, because the production manager will determine where we shoot, how we do the setup of the shoot, and the assistant director will have to follow closely to the schedule. You know, sometimes you have directors who are slow to decide. Assistant director is the one who's going to push. Hello, brother, make your decision lah. Mana shot? Apa lagi? Apa? Cepat. I have only until 4. Now after that, we move to another location. So usually the assistant director is the bad cop. You know, he or she will determine your shoot goes onto will be on time. Okay, and then and he also will push not only the director, the other departments as well, the costume department, the camera department, makeup, everything. Okay, and okay, when you're shooting your film, at this time usually what happens simultaneously is the editing process. You know, you have right now, because it's all digital, so every day you can already transfer the cut. So the editor will start editing the movie right away, so that your target is after you finish shooting, you already can watch the offline cut. Okay. So what I did not, I'm going to include this topic straight away because one of the thing that you guys say, one of the thing that you want me to touch is casting the film. So straight away I'm going to just slot it in here. between pre-production and production, when it comes to casting, when you write a script, when you want you write certain characters, try not to set, okay, I want this actor to be this role. Don't do that, because if you do that, it will trap you, because there's certain elements in the future that you don't know. You know, sometimes you are set in mind, okay, this certain actor must play this role, but suddenly, okay, the actor decides not to act anymore, you know, or suddenly the actor moves from Malaysia. There's so many elements, you know. Sometimes when it comes to the apa production punya phase, you give the script to the actor, they don't want to do the film. So there's so many elements. So if you trap yourself that way, uh, then you don't have choices, you know. So when you choose an actor, do maybe you want to do a casting process, which means audition lah. I mean, you send the script to other actors, do reading, do on camera audition. So then some actors can even surprise you. You know, you write this certain script for this actor, but another actor can surprise you from what they can give. And then when it comes to casting, the other thing that you look for is sometimes it's not just how well this person can carry the role, but sometimes you have to think about marketing as well. You know, I'm saying this because I'm referring to all these studio films, because that's what they want. You know, they want to cast a certain actors because they want to market the film. You know, because again, when I refer to the apa nama ni, how yes, Pan Asians, uh, not Pan Asians there. It's actually how many followers you have on Instagram. That's what's important. You know, sometimes they don't want actors. They want influencers. Um, because again, if it's a studio film, you want to market your film, that you want to sell. So when you write and you think that, oh, I want this for a certain actor, and then when you propose this to a funder or to a studio, they will say, no, I don't want this actor. I don't want. I want this one, Ali Shukri. I want Ali Shukri. So it's like um it disrupts your mental your train of thought lah. Okay, so now when after you choose your actors, you go to shooting a feature film it depends on the genre. Films, indie films like Kill uh, was shot in 14 days. Usually films like uh, Yasmin Ahmad's films, they shot it in 14 days. Why they shot it in 14 days? Because they had a proper pre-production uh, uh, phase where they rehearse with the cast. So they rehearse very intensively the movement of the actors, the blocking of the camera and everything. So it takes 14 days for them to shoot. But uh, if it's a big film, it's a commercial film, or the genre is action, or it can take up to 30 days or 2 months. So again, it depends on how big your budget, how big your cast are. Uh, it will take up to uh, I mean, this is local films lah. If it's like Hollywood films, they can take up to 6 or 7 months. But look, our local films rarely go over 2 months. Okay, and then after production wrapped up, then that's where you go into the post production phase, where this is where you assemble your film. So first phase is called offline cut. Offline cut is where the editor will assemble your film without the effects. You know, you just go scene by scene without you. The editor can also put reference music. You know, for the director to get a feel. Maybe even before the editor assembles the film, the director can brief the editor. Oh, I vision this kind of music for this film. So the editor will assemble an offline cut. The director will sit down with the editor, and then they will choose from the whole offline cut which ones needs to be kept and which ones need to be taken out. And after the offline cut, after the picture lock, you I mean you have to determine how many hours, and then that's it. You don't touch the film anymore. Now you go to the online edit. That's where that's where the scoring, that's where the music, that's where the VFX, that's where the special effects come in. You know, uh, that is where uh, the online cut will be the final cut where what you watch in the film. But and then this process can take up to the quickest can be 1 month, but it can take up to 4 or 5 months, depending on how heavy your CGI, your VFX, your special effects can be. Because sometimes if your film requires a lot of CGI, then it takes a lot of time to do all these things. But if it's just simple, no VFX, no CGI, then less than a month you can complete this. If it's a film, then you probably you have to do sound mixing, you have to do all this um, maybe certain scenes needs to be dubbed, or you can lay with voiceovers, and then that's where you add all these final touches. You know, that's where you see, oh, probably this scene is problematic. You need to add pickup shots and everything. Yeah. Okay. So here, because we are talking about local films, I'm including distribution. Is after you finish your film, you have to show it somewhere. So you have to sell it somewhere. So if referring to the current situation, previously, what you do is after you finish your film, you contact a distributor. Distributor will contact cinemas. When they contact cinemas, we will preview the film with the cinemas, and the cinemas will watch your film and they determine, okay, how many cinemas I want this film to be shown. Uh, we have uh, we have probably nearly 200 cinemas all over Malaysia. Um, if they think the film is worthy of 100 cinemas, they will show it into 100 cinemas in important locations. And if they think your film is uh, only worthy of 50 cinemas, then it's 50 cinemas. So that's why you don't see local films everywhere. It's only on certain um, chosen cinema, because cinemas hold this power, because they will determine, okay, this film goes where. I think this film can be shown here or here. So that's where uh, they determine where the film is going to come out lah. But when you refer to the current situation, because the cinemas is not open, so filmmakers have to go to the next best thing, which is the OTT platform. So they will sell the films to Netflix or Disney or Mubi or Sia. But the pros and cons of these things is, when you sell it to the cinema, you have an opportunity to make more money, because when you sell it to the cinema, it is based on ticket sales. So if your film is marketed well, if your films are uh, uh, did well, you have more money to yourself. You can get more profit. But when you sell it to the OTT platform, usually they will give a fixed certain amount. For example, this film goes to Netflix. What Netflix will do, they will send it back to the US to be evaluated. So people in the US will evaluate the film. If this film is worthy internationally, from the cast, from the box office, from the script, from the story. So they will they can buy your film as low as 20,000 ringgit up to 8 million ringgit. So it varies. Sometimes this film you see it not on Netflix. Netflix only pays the filmmaker 20,000 ringgit. So it doesn't even there's a lot of elements that goes behind it as well lah. But because what Netflix like to do is label their film Netflix original. So when they label the film Netflix original, that means the rights belong to them for a certain amount, and they prefer the film not to be released anywhere else. So when the film is not released anywhere else, maybe the film will be paid more rather than if you have shown this film somewhere else, then you get the value is lesser. Okay, so apart from cinema, apart from OTT platforms, if you hold the rights to your film, you can sell it on you can sell it DVD. You can make other alternatives to sell your films lah. But usually now, hopefully with the cinema opening, reopening, films can go back to cinema, and hopefully we can get people back to the cinema lah, and reignite the stories that we Malaysians can tell. Yeah. Okay. So I think for filmmaking punya flow, that is it. I think oh, it's almost 4. Wow. Okay. I've been okay. So but other than that, did I miss anything else, Daniel, from the topic?
Yeah, I think you covered all.
Yeah, I think I tried to include everything what the topics that we wanted to discuss in whatever that
But maybe perhaps you just add a bit about like your side as an actor. Just
oh, okay. From if okay, like I said before, being an actor in Malaysia, my background is not. I didn't go to film school. I studied in MMU, but where I learned theatre is mostly someone said just now, mamak sessions. Mamak sessions is very important. You know, sometimes even formal students that goes to classes, you go to mamak and then you apa ni, elaborate more of what you studied. So when I think I was very lucky because I started in theatre. So when I studied theatre, I learned what was the basic of acting during during the rehearsals. What was the basic? What is acting? And when I think if any of you guys here want to become an actor, before becoming an actor, you must study what is acting. That's why I put myself as an actor first before becoming a director. Because people think acting is just easy, but I think there's a lot of things that you have to know how before becoming an actor. I mean, my conclusion is just if you want to become an actor, go to acting classes, know what is acting, and then before becoming jumping to TV and I think or films, you have to try to find a certain thing that is what is the most unique about yourself. I mean, don't try to emulate others. Yeah, if you are uh, uh, if you are Robert De Niro, then you are Robert De Niro. If you are Al Pacino, you are Al Pacino. Try to do that, because I think what people will see that in the people want to look quality as an actor. For me, lah, I think that is the thing that. But the toughest thing is, I mean, I think we said it before. The toughest thing to become an actor in Malaysia here is, for me, the challenges is the what the station and what the public wants, as opposed actors, or uh, being an actor or becoming a celebrity. These are two different things. How you want to package yourself, some um Datin Sri Tiara told me, uh, uh, becoming an actor is like uh, selling something, uh, because you are
I'm sorry, Mr. Magat, but you're freezing. Your frame is freezing.
randomly picked.
Sorry, Mr.
Ah,
Magat, your frame tadi dia freeze kejap.
sorry.
Your
Oh,
frame
okay,
tadi dia freeze kejap. Yeah,
okay. Sorry.
but tak
Now
apa lah. We could like go on to the break and then we could start the Q&A pula.
okay. Yeah, that are four. Okay, so my conclusion here is, if you become an actor, you just have to learn acting, go to acting classes. That's my conclusion. Okay. Back to you.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Magat. Like, we really enjoyed it because we ourselves, as audience, we only know what goes on at our screen, what is shown to us. So we do not really know the tedious process behind producing a film, and that's why I always like hear people encouraged to don't watch pirated or don't download movies from illegal site, because the effort put into the movie is a lot lah. Now I know more. All right, so we have come to an end of the sharing session, not the workshop. So we will continue with our Q&A session after this 10 minutes break. So feel free to stretch around, chat with each other, or just take a walk, right? If you have any questions for Mr. Magat, and we actually have a lot already, do state them in the chat, or later I will allow some of you to unmute yourself and ask him live. So we will see you guys back in, say, 4:07, right? 4:07 p.m. Yeah, right. So just chill and take a break first.
Thank you. Rasa macam mengarut banyak pula.
In the meantime, Mr. Magat, you could just like scroll through some of the questions, maybe get an idea on what you want to answer. Or I'll PM you lah the questions.
Okay.
It's the thought of PM when your heart stays like a drum, beating louder with nowhere to guard it. When it all seems like it's wrong, sing along to Elton John and to that feeling we're just getting started.
When the nights get colder and the rhythm's got you falling behind, just dream about that moment when you look yourself right in the eye. Then you say, I wanna dance, the music's got me going, and nothing that can stop how we move. Yeah, let's make a place and live just like we're golden and rolling like we're dancing fools. We don't need to worry, just when we fall we know how to land.
Don't need to talk the talk,
keep the fire alive.
Cause it's not over till the summer. Say one more time.
I wanna dance, the music's got me going. Nothing that can stop how we move. Let's break our plans and live just like we're golden.
All right, guys. So we are back. Hope you guys managed to settle everything and all. So let's go on to the first question we have for you, Mr. Magat. All right. This question is, what is your take on the statement that the industry is rigged? The film industry is rigged.
The film is rigged. Okay, I won't say it's rigged, but it's very, I think it's very political. It's quite it's tough to navigate through our industry without going through this political punya climate. You know, it's for example, right after um, the previous election, suddenly there's you can do films like Ini Kalilah, not but if you say it's rigged, I think it's not as tough as some other countries, but we do have our restrictions. I mean, we have LPF, we have if you want to say rigged, okay, I will share to you the rigged part is actually for me is from the cinemas. Okay, why I say the rigged part is from the cinemas, because cinemas in Malaysia holds the power to show what they want to show. I mean, because they are a business, they usually don't like to show local movies, but they are bound by the wajib tayang punya rule. Wajib tayang rules them that they have to show a local film for 2 weeks in certain cinemas. But there's a but there. But if the film doesn't reach a certain amount of quota, the cinema can take out the film out of circulation, which is why you will see. But in the rule itself also, it doesn't state what time you have to show the movies. So you will have local movies shown at 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. on a weekday, you know. So they will try to get the collection of local movies down, so that they can pull the local movies out of circulation, because there are certain because local movies aren't marketed very well, so they will try to take it out lah, because the local movies are they are bound with this rule, so they will go back to finance and say, oh, this movie the collection very low, so we have to take it out. So that's that. If you say it's rigged, I think the cinemas are rigged.
All right, I see. Okay, so talking about restriction as well, this is quite a few of the question revolve around this, is that like, considering like Malaysia is a very conservative country, like what's your thought on the fact that it's not only the cinema, but contoh there's this one movie from a Taiwanese director titled BABI, the term, and like it's about racism in Malaysia, and everyone has like who has watched it said it was like such an awesome film. But in Malaysia, it is banned because like it shows the truth in Malaysia. So like, how can local films compete with international film when we have all these boundaries, too much boundaries?
Okay, Namwi is Malaysian. He's not Taiwanese. He's Malaysian. But the film that you are referring to, I am not afraid to say it's Babi. It's okay. We are the ones who put the stigma towards that word Babi. Babi is just a babi, an animal. So the stigma that comes behind that word, the apa ni, is negative. I don't know, because that's what we associate that word with. That's why uh, it also becomes the stigma towards the film as well. But if you watch Namwi's films before this, again, this his films are very political, but films, whatever you want to show, you want to communicate, I think censorship is just sometimes thing lah, can but there's ways to work around it. I mean, if you look at Iran punya movies, much better than us, because they know how to navigate around their censorship. But again, okay, again, I cannot compare to Iran films, because um, even though they have restrictions, people in their country, why their films are apa ni, better than us, because the people in their country watch their films. Here in Malaysia, we to get different races to watch a Malay films is so hard. To get a Malay person to watch a Chinese films is very hard. So because of, but this is because of our gap, political gap, race gap, that has been in us for hundreds of years, which we want, if we want to bring it together, plus our political climate and everything, a bit hard lah. But that's why I don't want to compare our film dengan Iran film. But what they did there is they know how to navigate around their restriction. If you watch their films, it's sometimes very political, but it's not in your face. It's very critical about their government. Again, it's not in your face. But Iranian people watch their films, so that's the difference between them and us.
Right. So next question here is, during your film making process, which part do you find most interesting and exciting to do?
Tak ada kot, semua nervous. Every well, I think most exciting is usually when you start a project and everything, you when it's about to come out, that is I think that is the part that is most exciting, because that is where, after all this hard work, when it's about to come out, that is where you know how people punya how people can accept your film. You know, usually when you go to a premiere, when you first show your film to people, then you can gauge, okay, apa ni, how people punya apa ni, reaction, how people react to your film lah. It's that's, I think that's the most berdebar, you know, people like or not, kan. Kadang-kadang orang tak suka, tapi dia orang macam good job, never mind, thank you, bye.
All right. So the next question is from an audience of ours, which he's from China. So he would like to know what is your thought on this film director named Wong Kar-wai. So like, what is your take on him, his film style?
Okay, you did say okay, Wong Kar-wai, and you did say you don't understand how cannot understand his view. Okay, again, films are subjective. Okay, sometimes filmmakers, they don't want to tell their stories. Um, uh, they don't want to spoon feed you. You know, films. For me, films are supposed to make you think. You know, whatever conclusion that you come out is actually up to you. You know, certain sometimes sometimes even whatever you see on screen is just that, but there's so many interpretation that you can make. Sometimes people can interpret a scene where this character puts down the cup. Is that maybe the director just wants the character just to put down the cup. There's no other meaning, but you can interpret it, that scene in so many ways. Maybe why he puts down the cup. Maybe he's bored. Maybe he's feeling he's thinking about something. So for me, why he is Wong Kar-wai is very renowned around the world is how you can read his films differently. You know, if you watch, um, my favorite actually would be the one with Tony Leung and um, can't remember now apa nama film tu. Uh, Love. What Love? Never mind lah. I can't remember it now. But his films for me, In the Mood for Love. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. That film is so. It shows adultery, but not literal. So that's why. Yeah. It's you don't need to show adultery in a bad way, in a negative way. You know, it's how you read it. He even sometimes you can see that he puts people adultery in a very beautiful way. You know, but again, it's how you read that film, how you take that film. Negatively, it's quite subjective. Okay, thank you.
Interesting. All right. So the next question, I'm sure you get this a lot. What is the difference between a film producer and a film director?
Okay. Producer. Producer is the one who manages the film in not creatively. Okay, how to put it? Because the producer is the one who manages the film in terms of the financial part, the distribution, and the director is the one who is in charge of the creative side of film. Usually people will see only the director, but the producer is the one who puts together. Sometimes in certain productions, the producer comes first before the director. The producer chooses who's going to direct. Sometimes they come together. You know, producer is the one in charge of the budget. Producer looks for money. Producer who is in charge of hiring people. You know, director can say to the producer, "Oh, I want Daniel jadi my DOP," but producer will determine, "Oh, Daniel is too expensive lah. Why don't we hire someone else?" You know, so producer is in charge of how much you spend. How many producer is but the position is equally important. Both producer and director, they work to me side by side. You know, kira producer sometimes hold the final say in terms of all this non-creative side lah. But the director holds the final say in all the creative side, how the story is going to be told. But again, they can they can cross paths. I mean, like sometimes the producer can fight for certain budget to be released, and also producer pun boleh interject with the director saying that probably we don't need this certain this scene you don't need at all. You know, you want to shoot the cut apa UFO punya scene, kita tak ada budget for, to shoot an UFO scene. So yeah.
All right. Okay, next question is, you know how like we Malaysian, we have this stereotype, like kalau local film macam ni movie Melayu ni mesti boring or the quality is low. So like as a film producer and new filmmaker, like how do we change that stigma? Like how do we start our film? Like for like other countries, if you want to start film, it's easy. But for us to like make our local film, we have like the boundary where like people would have prejudgment. Like this is a local film, so it's probably going to be some stupid editing or some boring stuff. So how do we market it to like change that stigma and that stereotype?
That's why I said earlier tadi, my first point, we have to change ourselves first. You know, even among ourselves here in the group, in this group, we have to watch local films first. Then you can educate our friends, our audience. I mean, it's a uphill battle. It's really hard. I mean, my friend, your uncle pun kadang-kadang tak tengok my work. so it's so hard to get people to betul-betul sokong your film. But again, we start with ourselves first. We try to watch as much as with all this local platform yang ada. You guys should check out CR and also Mubi. They show a lot and lots of local films from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So whatever you can find, go watch that. And then when you find something that's interesting to you, then you can recommend it to others, and try to find out, try to look, try to see who's involved in the film. Sometimes that can tell you, oh, okay, film is from this guy. So yeah, again, the stigma is not going to change if we are not going to change, because if we have the arts appreciation dekat Malaysia is very low. So I think I can understand if I see all the veterans macam give up. Even me, I still, people even in the industry still consider me a new filmmaker, you know. So even I've been around like for 15, 16 years, but I can feel jaded. What about all these veterans that have been doing it for the past 20, 30 years, you know? But again, try not to give up. Try to change yourself first, and maybe you can influence others to change.
All right, noted. Okay, so this is more to like get to know you more with this 3 questions. All right, number 1 is who do you think is the best local actor in your opinion? Second, what is your favorite film genre? And the last one is, what is your favorite movie film of all time, international or local? Up to you.
My favorite actor, Megat Sharizal.
Okay, second favorite.
No. I will. Again, that is very subjective. That's very tough. If any of them is here, nanti apa ni I boleh kena. I mean, a lot of local, no, because a lot of some the current good ones are some of them are my friends, but it's hard to even choose among them. But I will name different people.
So Megat, I think your screen is frozen again. Oh my God.
Sophia Jane.
All right. Before Sophia Jane, we did not hear a single person because your frame freeze.
What?
Your
Oh,
frame freeze, yeah.
okay. This internet here is very. Hello. Now okay.
Yeah, now okay, now
Okay.
okay.
Okay, sorry. It goes back to the 50s, 60s era. People like P. Ramlee. We have Nordin Ahmad. And then it reaches to Sophia Jane. And then currently we have people like Amarul Effendi, Sharifah Amani. We have apa ni, Nada Nisa. Those are among the people that I respect and I love working with them. They have not just very good talent, they have working integrity as well. Those are the people that I like, that I love. Yeah.
So how about your favorite film genre and favorite movie of all time?
Okay. Genre, I don't have a preference because I love films. I watch across the board. I watch silly comedies up until all these art house films. I try to watch as much as films as possible. But if if I can name one, when I was small, I really love action movies. That one is, but now I cannot name one. Because sometimes some movies from some other genres can just surprise you. Yeah.
And how about your favorite film of all time?
Favorite film of all time. Okay. Uh, I I like to relate when I decided I love films was when back when I was small I used to watch a lot of like I said I grew up with my grandmother and she showed me a lot of P. Ramlee films, and at the same time she also loves to bring me to the cinema, you know, that because my grandmother, she was a product of the 50s 60s, so they watch cinemas a lot. Sometimes you don't get that with parents nowadays, you know, who will bring their child to the cinema. Some will bring lah, but my grandmother likes to bring me. So I remember when the first Batman came out, the one with Michael Keaton came out. When I watched that, I was like so amazed. When I was, I don't know, I can't remember. I was 5 or 6. I can't remember. I was small, but when I watched that, it was like, wow, man. So that was when I thought I want to I want to make films. That was when I determined that I love films. So that was one of my most favorite films of all time. That's why even among the industry, people know that I love Batman. So that yeah.
All right, cool. My personal favorite is Predestination. You should watch it if you have the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have a live question from one of our audience. Imran, go ahead, ask your questions.
Hi, I'm Imran, playing the role of Student C. My question is, if you want to start watching a local film, right? Like, what's your recommendation? Since I'm a cinema dummy.
Sorry?
So like,
can't hear the last.
What's your recommendation of a good local film to start off with?
Right now, I think people are talking about Mencari Rahmat on Mubi. There's a lot of buzz about that film. Mencari Rahmat is adapted from Importance of Being Earnest. It's still it's a low budget film. It's sad that it's low budget. I thought that it could have done a lot better if they had more budget, but it had good actors. It has good actors. I mean, there's Amirul Fandi, there's Namron, there's Sharifah Amani, there's Adi Bahno, there's Fauzanawi, all good actors. And I think that there is one place that you can start because for the past 1 or 2 years, we don't. Another good film for me is Roh. Raw is also, I think Raw is on Netflix or Disney Plus. I can't remember, but Raw is also one of the good films. And then you can easily find Yasmin Ahmad's film on Netflix. Yeah, those are good places to start. That is my recommendation lah.
Right, all right. Okay. So our next question is, what was your most memorable mamak session?
Okay, my most memorable mamak session is always talking about acting lah. I think for me my classes of acting the best comes from mamak sessions. You know, can sometimes you just lepak for like until from 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock until the sun comes up. So just talking about acting, talking about films, talking about everything. I think because somehow it's more engaging than just talking in a class reading, purely taking whatever is in textbook and try to interpreting it yourself. But I think that's the best school in life lah for me.
All right. Okay. All right. So this question I find interesting as well because you mentioned about Amirul Afendi, and I'm a fan of his also. I watched his film Wan Tu Jaga, and he's such an amazing actor. So like there was this news about him not getting hired because of the amount of social media followers he had. So like, what's your thought on that? Because like,
okay, that is the thing that is the downside of the film industry in Malaysia lah. Because I think again, stations, they want to sell their products. They don't, for them quality is not number one. For them, they want viewers, they want ratings. So they prefer that the actors that they choose is are the one with numbers on the social media. I've been on shoots where the station determines, oh my God, you have to take this influencer who has no past acting experience. I mean, at that point, he has hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, but he had no acting background at all. And then when you question them, they will say that, oh, it's apa director lah kena ajar dia berlakon, which is not. You have to understand again this mentality, this mindset that director has to teach an actor is wrong. An actor has to go learn acting before coming on set. You know, an actor, when you come to the set, what you give to the director are choices. Director will pick one. Bukannya director yang beritahu, oh apa ni, you berlakon macam ni boleh tak? No, you come on set, an actor, you have to interpret. You read the script, you interpret the script, and then you do choice, and then director cakap, no, macam ni, you try macam ni. That's what you do. Tapi with no background in acting, you don't know how to do, then you just baca, buat, and then yeah, that is the toughest thing lah. I mean, last when the product comes out, people will rarely blame the station. People will blame the director. You know, cakap apalah director cast dia ni, padahal it's not the director punya power pun nak cast sometimes. You know, bukan sometimes. 70 or 80% of the product you see on TV, the director, you don't have any say who they can suggest, but usually the station will overrule. Oh, tak nak ambil Amirul Effendi, ambil kayu yang cantik ni. So macam tu. So
yeah, I guess that's the harsh reality lah about any industry pun. Sometimes your talent is like it comes second. It's always the looks or probably your fame and fortune. All right, so the next one is, someone asked, how can I find voluntary job for setup for filming scenes?
Voluntary job.
Yeah.
Okay. It depends on what department. You can approach any if you want to work on camera, probably you can find any you can try to ask any DOP ke whatever ke that you are interested to do voluntary jobs. Usually producer pun you can approach, they will, if you want to work voluntarily lagi dia orang suka, you know, they will be happy. Okay, you want to work for free, yay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, all right. One more question is probably from someone who's interested in video editing. The question is, how much does video editors get paid?
Okay, this goes across the board. You know, there's another thing about our the Malaysian system is we don't have a rate card. We don't have a minimum pay, which is so sometimes editors can charge from as low as 200 up to like 5,000, 6,000. So it depends what kind of project you are working on and how experienced you are. Um, but I guess don't put it too low lah. Usually, if I'm just gonna say my estimate for a telemovie, let's say, it can be like 5,000 ringgit. That is the
Estimate.
average lah. That's the average estimate lah. But it depends. It depends on what kind of projects that you're working on.
All right, I see. Okay, good to know. All right, so before this, you said about like most of the time directors do not really have a say in the film, but like as a director yourself, what would you do if the actor does not meet up to your expectation?
If it's legal, I would like to kill the actor. No. You know, sometimes that's the thing. Okay, I would go back to the role of a director. A director is like a captain of a ship. You know, sometimes you won't get the crew that you want. You have to endure what sometimes the upper management gives you. You know, even your captain, but the admiral will give you the stuff that they have. You know, but you have to steer the ship somewhere, and not all on board the most efficient. So you have to endure with what you have and try to make do with what you get, and bear in mind that you have accepted the role of the director. You have to be responsible lah, whatever people think. You know, you cannot go blaming others. You have to take this responsibility, and whatever the product, whenever the product comes out, people blame you. You have to take it as hard as it is and try to make better. Yeah, do better.
Right. Okay. I think we could censor out the killing part. All right. The next question is, what do you think about people, directors lah, who don't believe in makeup and wardrobe budget? Because especially in most local film, the quality of like the blood or anything is honestly very bad sometimes.
Siapa tanya tu?
Who? Wait.
Amni.
Yeah. Who asked the question? Can you just like raise your hand or something?
Okay. If because why I asked who asked, because it goes back to you said director who doesn't believe. Most of the time, it's not the director who doesn't believe in makeup and wardrobe. I believe in makeup and wardrobe, but sometimes it's the producers who try to slash down that budget. You know, because that is why if you see apa nama ni, some because the limited budget that we have, usually stations will give that budget, and and 30 or 40% of that budget went to the main actors. So you have limited budget for the other departments. So you want to get the best technically. Okay, you give more budget to the camera department. So what's left with for the makeup and wardrobe is just very small. So that is why the makeup and wardrobe departments in this country sometimes are not motivated to do their job. You know, they're just there to just keep the wardrobe and then just give. So you it's different from let's say Hollywood. When you are a makeup or wardrobe department, you have an idea. You will give suggestions to the director. Oh, I think the character will use this kind of wardrobe. But here no, everything has to come from the director. So I think that's just tiring lah. You know, it's supposed to be collaborative. Because of the budget that's so limited, people are not motivated to do wardrobe, to do makeup, even prop. You didn't even say prop. Art department. It's so little that you see like bare. You because all the budget goes to most actors are paid more than the director itself. So yeah, the system is.
Right, so like the director memang cannot do anything lah, cannot like mogo or like, because I mean it's their movie, it's their script, so can't they do anything?
Because we don't have any union like in Hollywood or European countries, they have unions, they have they have all this association to protect their rights. The most frustrating thing that just came out the other day was the question of IP. When you do a film, when you sell it to, okay, the reason why you guys cannot watch Terbaik dari Langit, my film, the film that I acted and produced in, is because the IP of the film belongs to Astro Shaw. Somehow Astro Shaw does not want to show it anywhere. So we as filmmakers, we don't have the right to go to them. Show lah dekat Netflix, show lah dekat movie ke apa. It's their right because that's their money. They commissioned us to do the film, even though creatively it was done by us. But at the end of the day, the rights belong to them. If they decided to show that film anywhere, the filmmakers, playground production won't get any money from that. So that is why this kind of as a whole that kind of association or union punya topic is always on the top because we don't have that. You know, people. I'm just referring to, let's say, Friends. Can every year the actors of Friends still get money of royalty. They don't have to do anything, and it's millions. You know, they get millions. They actually don't have to act anymore, because every time the network shows the film or sells the film somewhere, they will pay the royalty to the actors. Unlike Malaysia, when you do a film, you sell it to a station, or sometimes it belongs to the station, and that's it. One off, you won't get anymore.
Right, that's sad, unfortunately. Okay, so we have time for one more question, I guess, and this question is going to be asked live by Siti Sharifah Sharina. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm just wondering, hold on, yeah. Okay. Are there any other ways for people who are, really passionate about acting to get into the industry and make a name for themselves other than sending like, a resume or profile to production houses or going for auditions?
Find a rich husband.
You mean, I mean, what if I can't find one?
I think for me the way that you are the way that you are doing now is the right way, correct way. Try because that's how some the people that I know, that's how they did it. They just go to non-stop audition, go tak apa, reject pun tak apa. Sometimes it's not that you're not good, but um the director or the producer just don't have a role for you. But don't stop, don't give up, just go, because when you go to a lot of auditions, it works for the better for yourself. You know, you get less nervous, you know techniques for audition, um, which I think will help. I mean, uh, I refer, you know, for Marco Polo, I had to audition 5 times before I got the role in Marco Polo. Um, uh, but they just keep on trying to from different angles lah. But other than these things, uh, I don't know. Right now, for me, I think if you want to get more chances to get hired, another thing is, apart from working on your skills, probably I think social media lah. Try to put more content. I'm not saying uh, trying to get more followers. Try to get more good contents, to put out more content on Instagram ke TikTok ke. I think because I see this is the new media, how to get you to be noticed. So probably this is the way. Yeah.
I see. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Sharifa, to add to that as well, like you can start by joining film festivals like ours. You know, send your short films and all, and slowly work your way up lah. So that is one opinion as well, I would say. Okay, so I guess there's one more question just to sum it all, end our workshop here. So Mr. Megat, what is Playground's production next film? Any sneak peek?
Okay. Before we started just now, because we have a lot of in the pipeline. We have certain things, but it got delayed for a few years because of the pandemic and everything. So currently, I am working on a telemovie for RTM, titled Bunga Untuk Mama, which is about a boy with autism who wants to learn silat. Silat. You know, someone didn't know what silat was just now, so I have to, not kung fu, but silat. Malaysian martial art, silat. Yeah, okay. So it's Bunga Untuk Mama but we haven't start shooting yet because of the pandemic, but we hope to shoot in this upcoming 2 or 3 months, and after that probably a feature film. I'm directing the first film that I will be directing. It's called Mencari Ramli. I cannot expose much detail about it right now, but it's not a P. Ramlee punya biopic, but it touches about P. Ramlee. So again, this project, I don't know when it's going to come out. I hope to shoot the film next year, depending on how well things goes. So currently, these two are the priority for me lah. Bunga Untuk Mama and also Mencari Ramli. Yeah.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your enthusiastic questions. Everyone was so active with the question, and we thank you so much for that. But unfortunately, time is against us. But don't worry. Any questions left unanswered? Like we have quite a few here lah. we will personally ask Mr. Megat after the session, and we will share it on our Instagram page. Is that okay with you, Mr. Megat?
Yeah, and if you guys feel that you want to ask me personally pun, okay, I will try lah. I mean, you can PM me on Twitter or Instagram. I will try to answer as much as I can. If you don't want to ask here lah, I mean, I will try to help as much. It's Megat Sharizal. Yeah, it's yes, Megat Sharizal. That one. Not Shah, not SHAH. It's Megat Sharizal. Okay. So yes. Also, can also ask through apa ni? Yeah.
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys could do that as well. Maybe get a VIP access straight to Mr. Megat.
If you spam, I will block you. Imran, if you spam, I will block you.
Imran. All right, so a huge thanks to Mr. Megat for his time, for his inspiring and enlightening sharing session. Do watch his films. Personally, my favorite, the one that he acted in, is titled The Deed of the Death, also known as Geran in Malay. It's about silat and all, and it's on Netflix. You guys should definitely watch it. His acting was mantap. It was wow. All right, so okay. It's not over yet, guys. MMOF, we would really appreciate it if you all could just spare a few minutes to answer this short form regarding the workshop. So if there's anything you like, or if you have any suggestions or improvement we could make for our future events, just scan the QR code on the screen, or you could click the link in the chat box. We promise you this is not like some advertisement survey where you have to answer a lot of questions. Just simple. We just need a little bit feedback, all right? So probably I'll give you guys 3 to 5 minutes to do so. You guys could spam done when you guys are done on the chat. Anyway, sambil sembang-sembang. So the terbaik dari langit, Mr. Megat, is there any way for us to see it? Ke memang
it's currently, I can't say anything legally. Legally, there's no way to watch terbaik dari langit. Apa ni? Because again, like I said, but we are trying to get Asusha to show it somewhere. Hopefully, we are trying to push lah. I mean, but again, people have been asking us about that film, but sadly lah, we cannot do anything about it. So, yeah.
Alright, we wish you the best and we hope we could get to see it someday. Right, so Shannon asked, do we get certificate for participation? Unfortunately for this workshop and for most of our events, you do not get any certificate for participation, but you get experience, you get friends and all. It's way more important than a certificate lah. But if you want a certificate and also money, you can join our festival. You could send your film to our festival and you do not only get a certificate, you also get money. Cha-ching. Who doesn't want money? All right. So yeah, I see some of you.
Okay, I am including the mana asal tak go through. Salah. Okay. Sorry. Everyone. Okay. I'm including the link to my the playground's YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch some of my short films there, I did a few short films, and you can watch whatever some of the short films there, some of the content that can be shown on my YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you guys could check it there. Okay. And guys, please don't forget to call Imran, because he wants his new friends to call him and all. Oh, and yeah, for the money for the film festival, if you win lah. If you lose, not lose lah. If you do not win, you get experience. Like I said, experience is the most important thing in Malaysia right now. above money, above everything, experience number one. All right. So thank you, everyone. Right. Thank you so much for joining this workshop. With that marks the end of our workshop. For future updates regarding My Mind on Films event, please follow our Instagram, Facebook. It's there in the screen there. The workshop will also be uploaded both on our YouTube and our website for those who want to rewatch it. So your task right now, there's three things: watch local film, subscribe to Mr. Megat's YouTube, and subscribe to our YouTube. All right, My Mind on Films YouTube. And this wraps our time together. So thank you again so much to Mr. Megat, especially for your time. And thank you guys for making this workshop so lively. All right, we really appreciate it. So goodbye, guys, and enjoy the weekend. Right, peace out.